The sweltering heat of a Tuesday evening clung to the air like a damp cloth as Julian Carter, 41, strode into the Brookhaven Community Hall. The low-slung, aging structure stood at the corner of Magnolia and 8th Street, its flickering overhead lights buzzing softly, mingling with the scent of stale coffee and cleaning supplies. The room had been arranged with rows of mismatched chairs facing a long folding table where the neighborhood council presided, their expressions already etched with fatigue and suspicion. Julian, a former detective with the Atlanta PD turned independent security strategist, walked with the quiet certainty of a man who'd seen worse. Standing tall at 6 feet 2 inches, his dark skin gleamed faintly with sweat under the overhead lights. His dreadlocks were pulled back into a neat bun, his charcoal blazer crisp, contrasting the ruggedness of the dark denim jeans below. Slung over his shoulder was a worn leather laptop bag, containing a plan he'd spent weeks perfecting. A plan he believed could change everything. Brookhaven was beautiful on the surface-tree-lined sidewalks, tidy gardens, brick mailboxes, but Julian had felt the undercurrents of distrust from the moment he moved in 8 months earlier. He wasn't just new. He was different. The kind of different that made curtains twitch and conversations stall mid-sentence when he passed. He entered the room and nodded politely to a few neighbors. One woman gave a half-smile and looked away. Another clutched her purse a little tighter. He took a seat in the 3rd row, setting his bag down with a quiet sigh. "Order, please," snapped a voice from the front. Madeline Price, the HOA president, a wiry woman with icy gray eyes and a sharp bob that looked like it could slice glass, banged her gavel with unnecessary force. Her voice carried over the murmuring crowd. "This meeting will come to order." People fanned themselves with creased agendas, sweat sticking fabric to their backs. Madeline's voice sliced through the stale air. 5 home burglaries in 2 weeks. 3 car thefts. And another porch package stolen just this morning. We are not here to complain. We are here to find solutions. Julian noticed the eyes. They flicked toward him, then away. Quick, suspicious. He wasn't surprised. It had become routine polite rejection wrapped in forced civility. The first to speak was Roger Langston, a heavy-set contractor with a deep farmer's tan and a polo shirt stretched tight across his stomach. He lumbered to the microphone with his clipboard in thick accent, pounding the lectern like it had personally offended him. "We need gates. Real ones. Tall. Spiked. And armed security, too. Not those fake patrols who sleep in their cars." He looked around for approval. "You let just anyone move in here, this is what you get." The applause was immediate. Sharp. Loud. Julian's jaw tightened. Roger didn't say who just anyone was, but he didn't have to. A woman in a pale yellow cardigan leaned over and whispered to her friend, "He means people like that." Her eyes flicked to Julian. Her tone was more blade than whisper. Julian didn't flinch, didn't respond. He'd spent too many years in interrogation rooms learning how to stare through hate. When Roger finally plopped back in his chair, smug and sweating, Madeline looked across the room. "Anyone else?" Julian stood. His chair scraped gently on the tile. A few heads turned. A few eyes rolled. "I'm Julian Carter," he said, walking to the front, placing his laptop on the lectern. "I have a proposal to address the crime in our community. It's based on proven methods I've implemented in other neighborhoods. It's efficient, affordable, and effective." The projector behind him lit up, showing a satellite map of Brookhaven with red pins marking reported incidents. But before he could speak again, Roger burst into a loud laugh. "What's this? A middle school science fair? You've been here, what, a few months? Go back to your rental and let the homeowners handle the big stuff." Laughter broke out across the front row. 5 or 6 men in trucker hats slapped their knees like it was the funniest thing they'd heard all year. Madeline didn't stop them. Her lips curved ever so slightly, her fingers tapping her pen. Julian's eyes scanned the room. The ridicule hung thick in the air. "I'm not here for games," he said calmly. "You want crime stopped? Listen." Roger rolled his eyes. "You don't know Brookhaven. You don't belong here." Julian didn't blink. "No, but I do know crime. I've studied it, tracked it, Fought it. Your fences and lights? They don't work. Criminals adapt. I'm offering a system. Silence. Tense and watchful. Madeline leaned forward, irritated. Please just get to your point, Mr. Carter. Julian clicked to the next slide. Motion sensor lights. Shoulder port. Wide-angle cameras on shared entry points. An encrypted neighborhood watch app with real-time reporting and geotagging. Volunteer patrol snow weapons, just visibility. Everything coordinated. He pointed to a column of numbers. Total cost, under $20,000. No new taxes. Covered by HOA reserves. A nurse in the back raised her hand. Where do we get the cameras? What kind of app? Julian answered smoothly, outlining vendors and software he had already vetted. Another man in a checkered shirt murmured, My sister's subdivision used that app. Worked wonders. Skepticism turned to interest. Then concern. Then curiosity. Even the people who'd ignored him were now squinting at the screen. But Roger wasn't done. Yeah, right, he scoffed. Who are you to come in here with this mess? I checked the records. You don't even own property. Just renting, aren't you? Julian's face remained unreadable. I bought 802 Briar Lane. Closed in December. My deed's on file. He turned to Madeline. You have in the HOA records, don't you? She stuttered, caught off guard. To believe so, yes. I can confirm later. Roger sneered. Even if you do own, what's your angle? Flashy proposal. Big promises feels like a scam. Julian opened his laptop bag and slid a small black USB drive across the table to Madeline. On there you'll find every contract, bid, and reference. My credentials. My purchase agreement. My badge number from Atlanta PD. I'm not here to take from this place. I'm here to give something back. A hush fell again. Then a teenage boy stood up from the back. I just Googled him, the boy said, holding up his phone. Julian Carter. Decorated detective. Got a medal for community policing 5 years ago. He's legit. The shift in the room was palpable. Conversation sparked. Phones emerged. Chairs scraped as people sat forward. A man in his 50s stood up. Let's vote. I say we give him a shot. Seconded, said the nurse. Madeline's gavel struck again, but her voice now held a different tone. All in favor? Hands shot up. Nearly unanimous. Julia nodded once. Thank you. Implementation begins next week. But Roger wasn't done. You people are being fooled. We should slow down. Form a committee. Investigate this guy properly. Madeline didn't stop him. Her silence gave him room to grow louder. Julian stepped forward again. You want a committee? Fine. But every day you delay is another day someone's house gets hit. I've got an 8-year-old daughter who plays in your park. I'm not here for politics. I'm here because she deserves to feel safe. He pulled out a photo. A girl with 2 pigtails and a wide smile, holding a soccer ball. More silence. Then voices of support. My tools were stolen last week. I'm tired of feeling helpless, said a woman in a denim jacket. They jacked my truck in broad daylight, added a retired man near the exit. One by one, the room shifted to Julian's side. Even the skeptics fell quiet. Julian ended with calm finality. You dismiss me because of where I came from, what I look like, and how new I am. But this community is mine too, and I'm not asking for permission to protect it. Roger sat, flushed and fuming. Madeline rubbed her forehead. The gavel came down once more. Motion affirmed. Mr. Carter will lead the implementation. Meeting adjourned. As the crowd filtered out, Julian packed his laptop and shouldered his bag. Several residents shook his hand. Even the nurse offered a smile. But it was Roger who lingered, his voice gravelly and low. I was wrong about you. Julian met his gaze. You weren't wrong. Just late. And with that, Julian turned and walked out of the hall, the air cooler now, as if the neighborhood itself had exhaled something it had been holding for too long.